Hello. If you've never seen me before, I'm Coin Ring Maker from coinringmaker.com. I make coins like this into rings like this, and in this live, I'm going to be attempting to make two 1969 quarters into rings. First thing we gotta do is punch a hole in them. So let's get started. That's one down, one to go. If y'all have any questions while I work, feel free to ask. If you want to check out my website, the link's down here. Lots of good information about getting started making coin rings, or if you'd like to order a coin ring, you can do it there as well. You gotta be really careful with these older Washington quarters, especially like 69s. They tend to get really wobbly on you. But so far so good. Now we're gonna go ahead and clean up that inside edge right there with our deburring tool. Let's go. Y'all tap the screen, hit the follow button, tap the website link. Leave comments. I checked on my last live and only like 40 people left comments, so just comment, great job, how's your day, something nice, comment an emoji, and it'll count as a comment. I want to see at least 100 comments on this live. That'd be great. Let's go. Comment nonsense. I don't care. There we go. Smiley face. Well done. Thanks, Dawn. Nonsense. Very good. We've got a clever one. Thanks, Chris. Thank you very much, Introvert. I sure do try to do good work. I'm glad you think so. Got the first one done. Clean up the second one. No, I just finished punching the hole in these, and when you do that, it leaves kind of a sharp edge on the inside. So I'm just cutting that away, kind of smoothing it out. That looks nice and shiny and smooth. 1969 half dollars are 40% silver. The quarters are copper clad. Yeah. If you'd like to see more videos like this, hit the follow button or go check out my YouTube channel. It's just called Coin Ring Maker. I can post much longer stuff on there. TikTok is a little short for me. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Usually I only make these one at a time. And you can see from that fold right there how wonky the 64s like to get, or 69s. Got a definite wobble to it. This one's also a little wonky. So we're going to fix that real quick. Just got to level it out as much as you can. Go. Now we're going to go ahead and reel these. Delrin. Delrin all the way. Yeah. Good old sink water doing its job. I keep looking for rags, but I've got them all in the washer. I got no rags. It does the job. So I really want to make sure that this cut edge right here is nice and smooth, because if we've got any like micro cracks or scratches on there, as we start to stretch these, those are going to get bigger, and that's how you end up with a split ring like this. That's bad news. This is a nail file. Works pretty good. And again, with these older Washington quarters, as we stretch them, they like to stretch unevenly. So we're going to have to pay really close attention. And if we start to get any weird wobbles, we're going to straighten it back out. So can you see the arbor press? I'll try and get both of them here. So as I stretch it out, hop back over here, flatten it, and then stretch it a little more. Trying to fix all the wobble at once. is just too hard. So I kind of fix it as I go. Next one. One reason I don't tend to work on more than one ring at a time is I'll set one aside somewhere and completely lose it. So I'm trying really hard not to lose these rings as I work on them. It's a bit embarrassing. I'm gonna stop and scramble, figure out where my ring went. Here's our rings so far. You can see, especially on the date itself, there's a little bit of a dip right there on both of them. Yep. A little curve. That should straighten out as we reduce it. 6.7 and 5.5. So these are going to be pretty small. One's going to be 6.75 or 6 3/4, and one's going to be a 5.5. So we're going pretty small with these. If anybody wants to check out the site, links down here. I sure would appreciate you taking a look. Is most of your content on TikTok? How much YouTube now? Most of the stuff I put on YouTube is like my lives reposted. So I'll like make a ring here on live on TikTok, then I'll download that live and repost it on YouTube so that the people whose ring I made can go back and watch it whenever they want, as well as other people who want to watch it. I haven't done a whole lot of specific YouTube content in a while. It's a lot harder to grow on YouTube, at least for me, than TikTok. See, here on TikTok I can get 1,000 people. That's pretty sweet. Y'all hit the follow button. 1,000 followers right now would be totally awesome. But yeah, if I went live on YouTube, there's not a chance I'd get 1,000 people on it. Maybe like 50. So for now, TikTok is it's like the main focus. Yeah. It's been a little tricky lately with the rise of TikTok Shop. So they aren't big fans of people selling precious metals on their platform, which I understand. It's pretty easy to scam people with precious metals. So most of my stuff is sold on my website at the moment instead of using TikTok Shop, which makes it a little tricky. I use 17 degree. I really like straight wall looks. See how straight and nice that is. If you wanted more of a curved look, you could use a 25 degree. I think they call that the flat tire. See how nice that date lined up though? This one's still a bit wavy. So what I'm doing right here is reducing the size of the ring. This is called a reduction die. And as I pop it in here, it makes the ring smaller. I push down on it. And we're going to get these down pretty small today. Yep, no problem. If anybody else has any questions, let me know. Currently working on 2 1969 quarters, but I have a whole lot of options as far as what coins I can work on. If you'd like to check those out, you can go directly to my shop, buycoinrings.com. I have so many issues with the wobble on Washingtons and Franklins. The best solution I found for the Franklins is punch a bigger hole. So I used to use a 1/2-inch punch on them, and I would get just insane wobble all the time. I went up to a 5/8 inch punch, and my problems have drastically reduced. Like, you're gonna get a thinner band, but it's gonna look a lot better. So that's what I would recommend. This is a Legacy brand tools. They are a little cheaper than Jason's Works. I use both. So yeah, I've got Jason's Works tools right by my Legacy brand tools. Those are my two favorite die makers. Jason's Works does have a bit of a premium to it, but they're quality tools. But Legacy does good too. Use a 1/2 inch, but bigger. You would lose, yeah, you do. You lose some detail, but it's so much easier to work with. So there are our 2 rings so far. I'm gonna reduce this one a little bit more. And we'll go over here. On the inside of the coin ring, there's a bit of a lip right here. We're going to cut that away. Some knockoff dies from a few years back. They don't stay an angle and they rust. WD-40 is pretty good for removing rust. But Legacy brand tools, Jason's Works, both very good. Highly recommend. The Legacy brand tools was the first die I ever bought. That's the one I was using here. I've used this thing for, over 3 years, and it still looks pretty much brand new. So I can't give a better review than that. It's in good shape. Still works as good as the day I bought it. Alright, this is the slow boring part, so if you feel so inclined, go check out the website for a minute or two. And we're just going to do some deburring here. So my goal today is to have 100 people visit my website. So if y'all could help me with that, I would really appreciate it. Before I hopped on this live, we were at about 30. So if we can knock that up to 100, I'll be a happy goose. Tap that link, go click around. Sure do appreciate it. Where do I get the ring holder? This is made by Moneymaker Coin Crafting on Etsy. It's pretty handy. It's a 3D printed ring holder for deburring, and it does a damn good job. It's much easier, especially with smaller rings like this, which would be pretty difficult to deburr with just my hands. I like it a lot. It's a good tool. So what is this? This is a guy making quarters into rings. These are both 1969 quarters, and they're slowly becoming coin rings. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Anything under a 10 gets a bit tricky. here's a little, this is after, this is before. So you see that little notch? That's what we got rid of there. My prices range from $25 up to $300, really depending on the coin you want me to work on for you. How do you get your sales up when you start to sell? Be cheap. So when I first started, I really wanted to get a lot of practice in, so I made rings really, really cheap for people, just so I could get better at it. And then as my product improved, I raised my price. This is called a deburring tool. Internet's a good place too. I get most of my website traffic from pure on TikTok. So if you guys want to check out the website, tap the link down here. That's how we do it. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Just, share helpful information. Show people what you do. And you stay consistent, you do it long enough, you're going to get some customers. That's what worked for me. Thanks for the donut, Steve. Tara, why you gotta go on and do that? Nobody wants that. Nobody asked for that. Size 18, I could probably make a 1 ounce silver round. Size 18, but nothing smaller than that. Uh, 1969, size 11. I can do that. Or just 1960. I've got those in 90% silver quarters and 90% silver half dollars. Yep. I have lots of things smaller than an 18. I think 17 is the cutoff on the website. So, James, if you do find something on there you like, and you can't find the size you're looking for, shoot me a message here. I've followed you back, and we can work that out. I may have to punch like a larger hole to get to the size you want, so the band will be a little thinner than the average 1 ounce round. That's how these usually come out. So it'll be a little thinner, punch a smaller hole so I can stretch it a little further to get to 18. But I think I can do it. I don't know, Tara, it seems like you're self-promoting in my comments. I've never seen anyone else, with every comment they leave, they put their username. It's a little suspicious. Seems a little bit much. You deface U.S. currency on TikTok and don't get mad when feds kick in your door. No, I've done my legal research, buddy. Interestingly enough, it's not the feds who regulate currency. It's the Secret Service, which I was super surprised to find out. But they're really only interested if you're like counterfeiting or like fraudulently altering currency. Making jewelry out of it is not really something they care about. It's not illegal, at least with US currency. Alright guys, I want to get a notification that my website stats are booming, so you'll just tap on that and click around for a minute. It will help me rank in Google and also make TikTok think I'm super cool. So yeah, just tap on my website link here and poke around. Come back here, let me know what you think of the site. I know it's not the prettiest thing around, but I built it myself and I'm a little proud of it. No, I don't really use mods. Kind of freedom of speech here. I don't like booting people. I'd rather just make them feel self-conscious and leave on their own. Don't see the link. It should be down here, like a gold chain. If you can't find it, you can go directly to my TikTok profile and tap the link there, or you can take a screenshot of this and visit a little later. It's just coinringmaker.com. Yeah, that's just like automatic filtering. I don't have anything to do with that. That's all TikTok. They may want to censor people, but I'm a free speech advocate. I feel like everybody should have the right to talk, even if what they want to say is stupid. Do I have any 1988 silver rings? I have a really cool Olympic dollar from 1988. It's 90% silver. Those are $200. It's one of my favorite rings. I was born in 88. So that's what I would recommend. It's got the date really nice and bold on there. If you go to the website, coinringmaker.com, and just type in 1988 in the search bar, it should come up. And it's really cool. It's one of my favorite coin rings. It's really difficult to find silver coins from the 80s, so you're lucky you're from 88. Otherwise, it would be probably a no. Another question, how can you tell the difference between 90s quarters that are silver? Okay, so dead giveaway if a quarter is copper is look at the reeded edge. You will see the copper. Regular old copper quarters, let's see, we got another one here. You can see it. Like these are like sandwiched nickel copper, so it's like nickel on the outside, so it's shiny, but most of the inside is going to be copper. They do sound different too when you drop them. And 90% silver. I've got some half dollars here. The edge is going to be much more silver. You're not going to see any copper content on there. Another good giveaway for newer 90% silver coins that are going to be proof. They're only made at the San Francisco Mint, so they're going to have an S Mint mark. They do make copper proofs though, so like the S Mint mark isn't a definite it's silver, but if it has an S Mint mark and it doesn't have that copper looking edge, it's probably 90% silver. But I've handled enough of it, I can hear it. Like I can drop a coin and tell if it's silver or not with my eyes closed. Alright, so we've got one that's going to be 6 3/4 and one that's going to be 5 1/2. So this one we're going to make 5 1/2, so we're going to have to make this even smaller. Yeah, it's a very distinct sound, and like the more you hear it, the more you can recognize it. You just have some silver exposure, some time around silver, and it'll just come to you. Also, anything before 1965, so 1964 or earlier, is going to be 90% silver. And that goes for quarters, half dollars, dollars, and dimes. Pennies, not so much. Pennies have their own weird thing. 1981 to 82, they switched from copper to mostly zinc. So I really don't like working with newer pennies because zinc is just nasty. Yeah, I've had people hand me change and I can hear the silver in it. But checking that reeded edge is a pretty good go-to if you're not sure. Pre-82 pennies are worth more. Yep, they're about 3 times as valuable. You want to be a little careful though, because some 1982 pennies are copper and some are zinc. So I just cut off at 1980 so I don't have any wild surprises. You try and anneal a zinc penny and it will explode because the metal on the inside has a lower melting point than the copper on the outside, which kind of makes it like a self-contained boiling metal, I don't know, mess. You don't want to heat zinc pennies. So I stop at 1980. So I don't want to. I've blown up 2 pennies before, and that's enough for me. By the time it starts melting, it's too late. But copper pennies can take a lot of heat. 5.5. Slowly getting there with this one. Thanks for hitting the follow button. If you haven't yet, now's a good time to do it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Have I ever found mule error coins? I found a pretty cool error. It's a District of Columbia quarter, Duke Ellington, and it's got doubling. So like on the piano keys, it's all messed up. And that's a pretty highly sought after error. So yeah, I check all my coins 3 times before I work on them to make sure I'm not gonna ruin anything beforehand. But that was a pretty good find. I've also found a decent amount of W quarters. I don't know if you guys know about W quarters. What's the best coin to use? I think 90% silver makes better rings, but if you're just starting and you don't really know what you're doing, 90% silver coins can be pretty expensive. So I recommend practicing on copper clad, and once you've got the gist of it, you got the rhythm down, you're going up to more expensive coins. 90% silver, fine silver, stuff like that. Yeah. You want to see it? I'll show it off. I'm proud of it. Give me a second, I'll dig it up. We got these 2 sized out. 1. And another one's gone missing. That's great. Let me fish out that old Duke Ellington. Where is he? Now, if my focus and phone will work with me, you may be able to see it. Not the best picture on here, but I promise it's a double die. You can see the underneath the L's on Ellington. Man. And the E, see how the E has 4 legs where it should just have 3? It's a really good example of a double die. Pretty fancy coin right there. Most people would just let that slip by, spend it for 25 cents. Not this guy. No, sir. I need to get it graded, honestly. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's one of the best coins I found. And I actually got some rolls of quarters to go through today. I'm pretty excited. I haven't been coin roll hunting in a quick minute. So when I get off of here, I'm gonna go through some quarters and check them out. But there are our 1969 quarter coin rings. This one's a 5.5. This one's 6 3/4. And pretty much all I got to do now is clean up and polish coin rings. So that's what we're gonna do. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If you haven't checked out the shop yet and you'd like to, it's coinringmaker.com. I can pin it down here for about 5 seconds. So if you move fast, you can tap on that. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Hell yeah. See, I never found any leaky buckets. I went through, an incredible amount of quarters, and I never found a single leaky bucket. I've never found, what do you call it when there's like extra metal on the coin? But yeah, I did find that double die, which is pretty cool. And I found probably about 20 W quarters. If you guys don't know about W quarters, in 2019 and 2020, the West Point Mint produced and circulated special quarters with the W mint mark on them. And you can find them in circulation. They didn't sell them or anything. They just released them. They called it the Great American Coin Hunt, and they're worth about 20 bucks each in decent condition. And when they first released, I was going through tons of quarters trying to find them. I found a decent amount. I think other people did too. 165, boy. You must be getting boxes. Yeah, I've never been ballsy enough to ask for a box. I might get like 10 rolls at a time. But I ain't asking for a whole box. $375 a week. Hell yeah, man. You're doing it right. You find much silver? Have I ever done one of the 1920 Pilgrim's commemoratives? No. Those are a little pricey. Design's cool, and I think if I found the right customer, I'd be happy to do it. But so far, nobody specifically asked me for it, so I haven't ventured into it. It's a cool round, or a cool coin though. Man, I've learned so much about coins, making them into rings. It's bizarre. Like, just learning how many different quarter designs there are still kind of freaks me out. Still trying to find the rest of the W's. I have the bat. The bat is my favorite. That is a cool design. Faux show. But like, how cool of the West Point Mint to do that. What a cool little program to run. And they're only going to get more valuable, right? So I just hung on to every one I ever found. I never sold none of them. I don't know, there's something special about finding a W. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna have to hop off of here. It's been a lot of fun working with you guys today. Hope the rest of your day is fan-freaking-tastic, and we'll catch you next time. Visit coinringmaker.com. Peace.